What's up, y'all? So I made a Black Friday purchase. I would end up paying like, I don't know, some odd more, but yeah. So originally I was on Facebook Marketplace. I saw this on there. It was used, but I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and buy it for $80. But the guy was BSing me, so I was like, I'd rather just buy it brand new. That way I'll have a warranty for it. So, and the warranty should last as long as the subs, because I literally bought them within the same month. But here we are. Got the Scar Audio 1200 mono. Good thing is that from the factory, when they built the box and the subs, that they already have it wired up to 1 ohm. But yeah, like I said, from Scar. I already opened it up because right here where my hand is my address and stuff. So obviously don't need y'all seeing that. So let me pull it out the box real quick. Oh, dang. I don't know how long I've been under there. Oh, hey, what's up, y'all? Oh, yeah. Okay. Whew. Well, I don't know if y'all noticed, but something's missing. And it's right there. And I don't know if you guys are interested or wonder why I'm stuck underneath this hood and why that's not in here. If you like, share, subscribe, and especially if you comment so I can get back with you guys, man, you can find out what's going on with this project over here with her second V. See you later, guys. All right, well, it's backwards, but that's I ain't really caring about that. So I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm just gonna put it back into the original box without the box in the box. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. So we got the amp, some booklet stuff. Make sure you don't mess some stuff up, and show you how to, what it would do on whatever ohms you got it set at and stuff like that, and how to and what is what, how to ohm it and whatever until it runs into Spanish and stuff. So if there's something y'all need, I don't flip through it, y'all can pause it and go from there. But yeah, we got a little Allen. We got the little knobby. Got the knobby. Only problem is the freaking whatever jack that used to be when we used to hook our phones up to the radio. Because the nicer amp, it comes with the telephone style. Kind of like the knob that's on with the with my epicenter. And then some cord. And yeah, so probably what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to mount the epicenter and this together. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah. Now we just need to get it to the truck. What's up, YouTube? So me and the pup, we're out here walking. I'm finna warm the truck up so I can go to work. The thing is filthy, but yeah. So the other day when we got the amp in, I come outside to kind of like look at it to get ready to hook it up. And then I come to realize that on that kicker amp that I had in here, the remote was in the middle and the ground and positive was on the outside. But on these new 1200 RP amps, it's hold on. It's on the they're both right next to each other, which it doesn't make sense to me. But hey, if it makes sense to them, then that is what it is. But we finally got it hooked up. I did a little tuning to it, nothing crazy just yet. I'm still trying to understand how to tune an amp, like the low bypass and what's else on there, and the subsonic and stuff. Cause I know subsonic. No, I know the LPE it should be up a little bit higher since I have 8s, and then the subsonic should be a little bit farther than usual, I think. So I'm still playing with it, watching videos, trying to learn. But I haven't mounted it yet. So now finally, so now I have the 0 gauge to 4 gauge on here now. I just really need to get it up here, because now it looks like I done messed up my tape job over here a little bit, but it's okay as long as this one is still good. It's still blocking that out. So, but so far so good. But I got something else coming to pair up with the epicenter. So give me a little bit on that, and we'll come back to that when it's time. Alright y'all, so we're back at it again. So what I told you I had in the mail came in the mail yesterday while I was at work. Right now I'm sitting at Harbor Freight. I ended up having to take some shit apart because I wanted to try to figure some stuff out and how I'm gonna mount some stuff. But before I tell you before I figure out how I mount some stuff, let me show y'all what came in. This is what came in the goddamn mail, y'all. So hold on, I'm about to show y'all how they had, I'm not sure if I showed y'all this in the past, but I'm going to show y'all how they have the remote wire, because with this I won't have to run a remote wire through the truck. This will catch signal from the speakers, and then I can run it through here. So I'm going to show y'all how they got it. Alright, so this is the remote wire. So I just came back in here just so I can have my stuff back running. So I came to look. Now if you look, you can see that they picked up the, I don't know, whatever the coating is over the wire. So I'm gonna have to come back through here and heat shrink this back down. But yeah, so they did that, and then they just basically taped it on there. So I just re-taped it on there once I took it apart. But yeah, so that's what that bad boy is for. Alright y'all, so I'm at work. I'm on the clock. I made it to work late, got up late, so took King out, made it to work. So I'm like a whole hour and a half late, which never ever happens. I fell back to sleep. The sleep was good. But yeah, so I'm basically done with the truck, with the sound system right now. Granted, I just got to tune the LC2i. I finished this Saturday morning after a holiday party. I was a little inebriated, but I wasn't like where I couldn't drive. Well, I took me a nappy nap, and then I came to the shop, and then I finished it. But since I wasn't feeling, Jesus, if this damn thing don't turn. So yeah, so I wasn't 100% me. So at some point I started shaking because I needed to eat, but I was like goal oriented. I was gonna get that thing done at that point. And then I ended up going home, and I started testing it out a little bit, but like I said, it needs some tuning. So let's get back to my truck and not this work truck, and let's look it over. All right, so there she blows. LC2i Pro to the epicenter to the SCAR audio amp, 1200 watts. And obviously my two little 8s that be putting in some work. Man, look, I am, for as cheap as I pay, I am like really happy with what I got. I just need some real tuning done because I'm not a sound audio guy, so I don't know exactly what I'm looking for when I'm doing stuff, but for how I got it right now, I'm happy. So look on the other side real quick. And then I'm also post all the stuff that I use inside of the links, where you can get it from. And also I kind of want to show you the jumper. So these wires are not the actual wires from the Bose amp. There's a jumper right here that plugs into the Bose
And I'm not sure if this is factory or not, or is this from the last person that put in their system last, but it's that. And then there's also another one for the ANC, active noise cancellation. I don't know where it's at, but it's back here somewhere. I don't know. Actually, let me zoom y'all out so y'all can see a little bit better. Drop the phone. Drop the phone. But it's in here somewhere. So there's a noise cancellation plug and this harness that jumps off the main harness, and then which then sends it to here, then which remotely starts everything on the grid. And then, you know, I got my little power and ground, and then technically I don't need this remote, but I didn't want to start trying to get it to work without it and then had to come back in and rewire it back in. So I was like, fuck it. So then it goes down to the epicenter. So these RCAs go into the balance inputs of the epicenter, and then I got it going out into the amp on the output and the dash remote. So I just put the remote for the LCI to the epicenter here, and then it splits out into the ground, the remote wire right there. Okay, so yeah, and then power and ground. So I got both power and grounds running off of the main power here, since you see I got 2 in each. You know, a speaker wire to here, and then the RCAs from here to here. That's the base remote. And yeah, I honestly think they did a real crappy job with the ground, and I think I told y'all that a different day, but I'm gonna go back one day and redo that. That's not something that you have to see. But I got all the remotes from the LCI to the epicenter and the amp. I got it all running through here. You can kind of see the wires there, and I got all the excess wires sitting back here, and it's ran through here, and then you can see the wires here. I got them running down underneath, and then I have them all right here. So I tried to double side tape, but that didn't work, I guess because of that material. So yeah. And also, if y'all know how to clean this up, please let me know, because I just messed all that up trying to put this panel back in. But like I said, that's the full system. So I'm recording this just in case if I didn't already tell y'all how I have this stuff mounted. So if you can see, I have like these little studs coming through the back of this, whatever this rubber stuff is, the sound deadening stuff. So what I did was I drilled a hole through, and then I went and bought these little studs and washers, and I just fed them through, put it on top, tightened them down. Same thing here. And then I end up on the LCI too. I end up having to angle grind down the stud because you couldn't make it work any other way, because things were just in the way, and you could kind of see right there too. But I mean, it's been holding for about a week now. So also, in order to be able to get this thing down, you got to take for sure the one by the amp off, and maybe this one, and then take off this top panel, because you can't take this panel off without taking off these things. You take that off, and then you gotta pull that whole C-pillar down, basically, and it's a screw right there. It's a bolt right in there. Pop that off, there's a bolt in there, and then that, and then that whole thing pops out. And then, like I said, you can get behind it and knock that out. I ended up just putting this extra bolt, this screw in there, just because that amp is heavy, and I just didn't want it to like fall on its face. So, but I mean, I think really that's it. I mean, I took this mount up just so I could get underneath it and pull the remote wire that you saw that they had running up into that fuse panel up there, and just try to make sure that it wasn't nothing weird underneath there. You know, it is a used vehicle, so there's no telling what is and what could be. So yeah, I think that's really it. There was no other extra anything. Oh, and also the LC2I. Jesus, I could not get that out. The way that they work is they stay on for like 20 seconds after you shut your doors and lock it, and then it cuts off. But every time you open a door, it sends a signal back to those speakers, which I learned that the speakers are always running just in case for whatever reason, but that's just how it is. But I'm gonna show you here in just a sec. All right, y'all, so I'm about to shut this door real quick. Oh, Lord Jesus, I just fell. Shut this door real quick. All right. So y'all see it's on. All right, so we just heard the side steps close. And then you see the amp is on, epicenter on, LC2I Pro on. Let's see if I can get y'all all the way back so y'all can see everything. Up, and there it went. But watch this. When I open the door, everything comes on. So for the guys with weak batteries and stuff, get you a good battery. I'm running off of a Walmart AGM battery. I guess I can show y'all that part too real fast. So it's an AGM battery. That's where they put the fuse, but they also, I don't really agree with how they did this, which is gonna get changed at some point. But as you can see, Jesus, if it will focus, they drilled into the panel. But I do get a little flicker, like light flicker, which sucks. So at some point I am going to have to, do something about that. But I might just put like those really little batteries in the back seat underneath the floor where like that floor jack is. And yeah, I mean, that's what I could do, because I'm trying not to put things underneath the hood, because if I go supercharged, I need a place to put my tank. So I mean, maybe I can wire it into the bed or something, I don't know, and just put it off into the corner where it don't get hit and put a box around it. But yeah, we'll see about that when time comes. But yeah, that is it, y'all. That is the audio setup. I guess I could show y'all once I put the seat back in what it looks like. So not quite done yet, but I'll show y'all that. But for right now, deuces, I gotta get to work. All right, I got a question for you guys with systems. Do y'all have this problem? Watch this. All right, so what I'm about to do is I'm gonna play the music with no bass, and you'll notice that my dash is just fine. But when I turn the bass on, you'll probably be able to hear the distortion in the video, but then you're gonna see what's gonna happen. So watch this. Television, head, rest, 20 inches, feet, nothing less, every day, ice out, nigga, bleed, lights out, fresh, comma, all right, y'all, so I'm basically done on my end with the hooking it up and stuff. But now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take it somewhere and let them tune it. But got the seat back in. We're going to go see some Christmas lights tonight, and I'm gonna need my back seat. So, and that's how it fits. It's really no different from it not being there, like sitting in the seat. It fits the contour of the seat, so there's no weird anything. And then you still, let's see if I can hold on, y'all. And you still got space underneath here, like right here I got my umbrella. I could probably scoot that way it ain't fucking squished. Hold on. So yeah, you see you can put an umbrella right here. The tools are still there. Let's go on the other side. and I got my straps that I use for the bed of the truck. And yeah, you can see where I got the wire running in between the seat belts and got it running underneath the carpet. But like I said, it is fits real good. Well, yeah, got the old girl cleaned up this morning because I wanted to look good for the Christmas lights. Yeah, that's the end to this. Now I might do another video if whoever tunes it is comfortable with being on camera, but if not, there's a bunch of different videos you could go back and look at to make sure you get it tuned correctly. But till then, like, share, subscribe, comment, share. Wait, like, share, comment, subscribe. I did say it right the first time. I guess maybe I said share it twice. But yeah, that's it for the sub video. Holla.